Hi there, and welcome back to another video in this series where I will be testing algorithmic trading strategies to find out if they are profitable or not. And in this video I will be testing the ADST Rockwell strategy. As you might have noticed, the last post about testing a trading strategy was quite a while ago. Not that I wasn't busy though, I was primarily focusing on the creating a trading bot video, setting up my new Patreon place with monthly subscription, and recalibrating my strategy leak with a dataset over 2022. These three subjects took so much time, besides my normal day job and family life, not to mention the holiday seasons by the way, that I did not have the additional energy to also do the strategy testing videos. But now things are getting somewhat back to normal, so therefore I will take up the challenge again to test as many trading strategies as possible to see if they are profitable and also have the probability to also make money in the future. And note that past results do not guarantee profits in the future though. Nonetheless, this is also a good exercise to do, because it not only gives insights into other people's algo trading ideas, but also provides good coding examples that you can use in your own algo trading strategies. Now, for the upcoming algo trading strategy blog posts and related YouTube videos, I have also decided to be a little bit more opportunistic and take the low-hanging fruits first. As you might already know, the freqtrade GitHub repository already has loads of strategies, and I already have tested some of these in the past. However, I get the impression that some of them are not more than a few lines of code with simple buy and sell rules based on the status of an indicator. And some files are fairly complex and are actual serious attempts to create a winning strategy. At some point I will be testing these strategies anyways, and that is why I thought to myself, why don't I test all these strategies first and then continue with some more complex ones that are also based on other YouTube videos. I'll have to code those by myself anyways, and it's better to get the experience and examples from already available code anyway. So therefore, let me start with the first strategy file that is in this list, which I did not already test, and that is the ADST Rockwell Trading Strategy, created by Gert Wolgemuth. It is a strategy that originates from a YouTube video that unfortunately is not available anymore. But the idea of this strategy is well explained in the code itself and is very simple to grasp. This strategy's code is based on spot trading and has the following buy and sell settings. The idea is literally to buy an asset when the MACD line is above the MACD signal line and also above the zero line. To sell the position, the MACD line should get below the MACD signal line. And besides these buy and sell parameters, there are also the ROI and stop loss settings that are always included in the freqtrade strategy code. The ROI take profit points are divided by multiple time settings, and the position will be sold if after a set amount of time a certain percentage is gained. The stop loss setting is set to sell when the position has a 30% loss after the initial buy. And finally, the strategy is initially set to work best on the 5-minute time frame, but we will see later if this is actually the best time frame after backtesting this. In the indicator section, you can see that only the MACD indicator from the TA-lib module is loaded. There are no additional parameters here, so the default MACD settings will be used in this strategy. And these default settings for MACD are the fast line, which consists of the 12-period EMA, the slow line, which has the 26-period EMA, and a signal line, which consists of the 9-period EMA of the MACD line. And as you might already know, the MACD line itself is the fast line minus the slow line. The final piece of code, which you see here, signals when the bot has to buy and when to sell. It consists of more simple Python statements, as you can see. The initial backtests I always do is to test this strategy over a dataset with a time period starting in 2017 until the start of 2023. I have an extensive post on my Patreon page where I explain in detail how I updated this complete backtesting dataset and also which pairs I will test in the coming year. So if you want to know more about this setup and also know how to set up your own complete environment to do these kinds of backtests, then become a member of my Patreon page to get additional information and benefits around this subject. The usual procedure to do initial backtests is to see if the proposed time frame that is in the strategy file itself is actually the time frame that works the best. If another time frame gives better results than that is in the strategy code, then I will use that for further improvements and analysis of this strategy. I have also created additional scripts that help me to execute the exact same command for each time frame, so that I get results I can compare. And after testing the ADST Rockwell strategy over multiple time frames, I have the following results. Here, as you can see in this table, over all time periods I tested, the 1-day time frame has the best results. It is also the only time frame that has a positive end result, and all other time frames, including the 5-minute one, proved to be losing over the tested time period. Looking at the exit reasons of this strategy, I can see that the exit signal, besides the stop loss, is the main reason why this strategy does not perform great. Every time a bearish crossover of the MACD occurs, that is, the MACD crosses below the MACD signal line, an exit signal is given, according to the strategy. But in reality, this occurs very often when the trade is already in a losing position. In this specific case, only 6 times did this crossover occur when the strategy was still in a profitable one. Now, since ROI is the main reason for exiting a trade with a profit, it is interesting to find out if these settings can be optimized further so that this strategy can be more profitable. The original code of this strategy does not have indicators that can be further optimized. The original MACD parameters in the code are default, and I could change the code to make them optimizable. The strategy itself is not that different from earlier strategies that I've tested that also use the MACD indicator as a primary or secondary control indicator. So if I wanted, I could use those already optimized parameters instead. Now personally, I do not think this will make much of a difference for this strategy. It gives it a higher chance to attain a curve-fitted bias, which may not fit future market circumstances. And also, you have to know that many people are making use of the MACD indicator with its default values to base their trading decisions on, so why make a difference? I think that optimizing the take profit points based on the ROI and stop loss parameters will have greater chances to create a strategy that might be profitable in the future, but no guarantees of course. So, when I optimized the settings for ROI and stop loss, I get the following results. And suddenly, this strategy became much more profitable than before. And to see what happens, we have to look at the exit reason again. After optimizing the parameters, the stop loss setting went from 30% to 4%. This means that trades are quickly stopped out when they proved to be bad. And you can see that also from the average negative profit of -4%. The second thing is that the exit signal and ROI settings are much more profitable than before. In this case, the strategy became more of a let your winners run kind of strategy. No quick profits are taken with tight ROI settings like before, but instead letting the MACD exit signal decide when to stop a trade. Also, the ROI settings are much wider than earlier, which means that there are lesser but more profitable trades to be made. And all outputs of these tests will be placed on my Patreon account, so if you want to see the outputs and test these results on your own machine, then please become a supporter to attain these files. So where does this relative simple algo strategy enter into the strategy league? With its adjusted ROI and stop loss setting, this strategy enters on the 9th spot of the strategy league. This is mainly due to the relative low drawdown and high Kalmar, Shortino and Sharpe ratio in comparison to the lower scoring strategies. And yes, for the viewer that has seen my videos earlier, the strategy leak also looks different from the last video. That is because the freqtrade bot has updated functionalities to determine if a strategy is good or not. I also made a Patreon blog post about these changes as well to inform you on my thought process here. There I also explained how and why I made these changes. In the end, it should give us more information to make decisions on which algorithmic trading strategy to use for ourselves. Now, for a trend trading strategy like this, it is typical to let your winners run and cut your losses. That is why the win rate is also on the lower side of this strategy. Nonetheless, this proves somewhat why the MACD is such a popular indicator. It is simple and effective, and with the right take profit and stop loss settings, you have the potential to have future winning trades here. Now again, all files will be available on my Patreon page, so if you are not already a supporter, then please become one. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like this content, then please click like, subscribe and click the bell icon. And leave a comment if you have one. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!